This is Jules Grandcir in Mainz at ZDF. How do you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear, Jules. Station is ready for the Space Fernsehgarten.
Very good. I'll give you to Andrea Kiewel if you repeat this sentence in German.
Cologne, Köln, das hier ist die internationale Raumstation.
Köln, this is the International Space Station, and we are ready for the Space Television Garden.
Hallo, lieber Alexander Gerst, hier ist Andrea Kiewel.
Hi, Alexander. This is Andrea Kiewel. I'm very impressed, and I found it wonderful that you are 400 kilometers above us. And honestly, when you're so far away, how great is the desire to be even farther away?
Ja, es ist natürlich so, dass man zum einen weiß, dass man den ersten größten Schritt geschafft hat.
Well, first, you know that you've done the first big step into the space, and now from here on, it is really only a small step to go farther out to space. And as an astronaut here on the space station, you can look out during the orbital night, which only takes about 30 minutes here on orbit, and you look at the stars. The wish, of course, occurs that you would want to go farther than the space station. And it's a great place here on the space station to look back down on Earth, and it was very impressive when I did that for the first time. You just told that you were so impressed by looking down the Earth, and which part of the Earth is your favorite, and how many times do you think about your family when you fly across Germany? Well, you're right, and everybody looks at their home country and the places you have been already, and it's very difficult to say which place on Earth I like the best. I think the most impressive is to see the atmosphere, but as a geophysicist, I knew exactly how thick the atmosphere is, but to actually see it, to how fragile and thin the atmosphere really is, and you can see the stars through the atmosphere, and it is very fragile that I could see from the outside, and that was very impressive for me and surprising. And today I flew across Peking, Beijing, and you can see fires and smog and polluting the environment, and it hurts to see that. I will ask you a woman question, and I'm blonde, and so I'm allowed to ask this question. And women always try to get enough sleep. How do you sleep in the space station? It looks like you're very relaxed. It looks like you get enough sleep. Well, it is a lot easier than you actually think. For the first 2 days, you have problems to fall asleep because the first time you sleep in while you're floating and you don't have a pillow nor mattress, and sometimes you wake up during the night and you have no idea where's up and down, and the orientation that you have in the space station that we have is we look at the ceiling and the ground, but sometimes you lose that. And after 2 days, I got used to it, and and then I slept very well, and I sleep about 8 hours, and sleep is very relaxing because it's nice, because nothing is touching you and nothing is bothering you because you're just floating.
Sie?
Hören Sie mich? Verstehen Sie mich? Die Frage war
Do you hear me? I couldn't understand the question.
Hol die Frage nochmal. Sie haben erzählt, dass Sie so schön durchschlafen. Träumen Sie auch? Und wenn ja,
The question is, do you also dream, and what, and in which language? This is a very interesting question, because today I remembered the first dream in space station, and I dreamt that Reed and myself were launching on a Canadian rocket into space. First we went to Kazakhstan, and the Canadian rocket was put on a Soyuz rocket, and I was a little bit disappointed that the Ariane rocket was not in the dream, but maybe the next time. Well, you have a little bit of time till mid of November to dream a lot more. What is your main job on the space station? From my knowledge, it's to conduct very important experiments. Please tell us a little bit about it. Yes, you're correct. We have 160 experiments that we will conduct in this half a year, and will be 40 European experiments here in the Columbus module, which is the European science module, and it is almost like a complete laboratory in the university. And we have experiments, combustion experiments, combustion of combustion of materials that then will lead to better understanding on Earth, and for industrial processes for the oil and gas industry. In 1 or 2 months, the ATV, the European ATV, the European transport vehicle, will bring a furnace with fluid liquids, and we can a lot better look at these materials, and we can examine things on the space station that we cannot experience on the Earth, because we have gravity on Earth, and here in microgravity it is a lot easier and even only possible to make new materials that possibly could be used in a couple of years in cars or other materials on Earth. And we can do research here on the space station that cannot be done on Earth. You are our man, Alexander. We never doubted that. After such a long day with these incredible experiments with your levitation oven, and on Earth you would probably like to sit home and drink a glass of wine and a cup of coffee. What do you on a space station?
Aber auf dem Cappuccino nicht ganz. Also ich habe hier
So I cannot drink wine on the space station, but this is the space version of coffee, or this is drinking water, and it does not really taste as good as on Earth. But we have the cupola, and we can look down on the Earth straight downwards and in a 360-degree around, and that makes up for a lot of things that we have on Earth and we miss up here. I'm inviting you to come to the Fernsehgarten, to our show, and you will get the best cappuccino you have ever had on Earth. And at this point, I would like to ask you besides friends and family, is there something you miss the most in the space station, and what would you really like to have on the space station? There's a couple things that you miss, and the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, as the Australians say. I'm missing showers, special foods, and just going hiking and running in the forest, and the smell and the sounds in the forest I really miss. And I also miss that when I spent some time in Antarctica, and I really enjoyed it when I came back to the green and to the forest. And this is something I'm looking forward to have again when I come back to the A. And well, I cannot provide you with smells, and it would be a new experiment how you can transfer smells through the television. But I have something for you which you have heard definitely when you were running and hiking in the forest. And this is only for you, gift for you.
Kuckuck. Ein echter Kuckuck übrigens und nicht eine Kuckucksuhr.
This was not a cuckoo clock, that was an actual cuckoo bird. And I hope that was a nice gift for you and made you a little bit happy. And it was a great honor to talk to you. You are the most courageous man I know. And I also wish you a lot of space, and everybody's cheering in the Fernsehgarten, the audience. And thank you very much, our man in space, Alexander Guest. Oh, thank you a lot. The cuckoo really reminded me running in the forest, and I heard it for the last time. It Star City for the last time before I went to space. And your show is a great opportunity, and to the whole audience, all the best from space. And I'm looking forward to be with you and be with you in your show.
This concludes the first portion of the event. We have a few more questions now.
Go ahead, Jules.
Alexander, Sie haben ja dort oben den besten Überblick.
You have the best view from up there. How will Germany play against Algeria in the World Cup tonight? And what kind of team do you fear most? Well, I'm very convinced that the German team will progress a little further, because we had a bet with the American part of the crew, and we're hoping to be in the final together. And I think we will go farther, and all the best for our team.
Sie, Alexander, dass touristische Flüge ins All?
Do you think that tourist flights into space could be the same experience as you have on the space station?
Ich denke, dass es tatsächlich sehr wichtig wäre. Und
I think it would be very important and positive if every person on Earth could fly into space and to see the Earth, this blue dot, one time from outside in space. And this would change and our attitude towards the Earth, and also also raise awareness about pollution of the Earth and Earth atmosphere, and make us aware that we have this only world, and that we have to protect, and because this is the only place in the universe that we can live on, and that it is very important to protect the blue planet, and it would be very important for everybody to see this with their own eyes.
This concludes the second portion of the event. We have two more questions from Ludger Wittgau for the Deutschlandfunk.
Guten Tag, Herr Wittgau.
You have told us that you were so impressed about the views from the space station, and now you reflect on those views. And what kind of thoughts do you have after 4 weeks in space?
Ja, man hat natürlich, wenn man eine Weile im All ist,
after you've been in space for a while and you saw the Earth as a whole, you have a view that it goes a little bit more into detail, like a fire or algae in front of the coast of China. In the beginning, you see those things, but you cannot really understand what it means, but after a while you can actually tell that something might be wrong, and you see a lot more details that are possibly not as nice, pretty, and this could be some pollution on the Earth. And if you realize that, then these thoughts are of course not as great. You're playing with your microphone in microgravity. What about your body? Did you already get used to microgravity? It happened very fast, and I'm very surprised that it went so fast. And in Baikonur, we had a lot of training programs to get used to microgravity, like a tilt-down bed, and I prepared very well for to adjust in microgravity. It's about, for the first 2 days in microgravity, it's very
Aber mir war zum Beispiel nicht schlecht, oder ich habe immer gut geschlafen, und
the first 2 days in microgravity is
sogar noch verbessert.
Not used. I wasn't used to it because the stomach was a little full and the sleep was not as well. But actually, you learn to walk again in microgravity, and your feet try to catch some handrails. And after some time, it is great, and it's becoming easier and easier to move around at the space station. You already told us you are running experiments with liquid fluids, but you have also conducted an experiment with soap bubbles for high school students. And how important are these experiments for the space station? Well, it was kind of a free time experiment, and I was just experimenting around with soap bubbles, and I wanted to show the students that sometimes things are different than you think, and I wasn't sure what the result would be, and I found out that the soap bubbles are behaving very differently than on the ground. And if you are trying to combine 2 soap bubbles, it does not work. And also pricking a soap bubble is different, and it's not like on the Earth, and it's very unuseful. And this is to make people think about from a different perspective. and that the result may not be as you expect it to be. And this also has some use for the Earth, that you could make products or materials you could produce completely different on a space station than on Earth, because, for example, for soap bubbles, the wall of the soap bubble can be made a lot bigger than on Earth, and that could be used for processes and materials on Earth. Thank you very much.
Dank, Alexander. Station, this concludes the event. Thank you very much.
Alles Gute zurück zur Erde. Es war schön,
Good luck to Earth.
Zu reden und alles
Good luck for
Gute
Earth. It was nice to talk to you, and good luck from the International Space Station.
That concludes the event. Thank you.
Thank you, ESA and ZDF Studio Station. We are now resuming operational audio communications.